is Shana Verstegen with your weekly HD fitness tip. This week we're continuing talking about flexibility. Now again, these stretches aren't just for people with Huntington's disease. These stretches are for pretty much everybody because we all tend to be tight in our chest, in our hamstrings, and finally this week we're talking about our hips and our hip flexors. We spend a good chunk of our day seated, which actually compresses your hip flexors, also tightens up your hamstrings. And in order to help you walk really well, we want to make sure those are loosened up. It can also help prevent knee injuries and lower back injuries. Our first stretch for your hips and your hip flexors is a lateral lunge. We actually did this earlier on in your mobility series when you're talking about strengthening your hips. The same exercise can also help stretch your hips. So you're going to stand in a nice wide stance, toes pointed forward. Remember, if balance is an issue for you, make sure you're holding on to something like a countertop or a partner, just so you have some stability and you're not falling over doing this exercise. You're going to drop one hip down over the heel, and you'll feel a nice stretch through here and also a little bit through here. You'll come back up and then drop the hip down to the other side. For this stretch, I encourage you just to gently move side to side for about 30 seconds to a minute. Not forcing the stretch, just easing down side to side. You'll notice you'll be able to get lower and lower as you go. The next stretch is, again, specifically for your hip flexors. It's a kneeling hip flexor stretch. You're going to kneel down in this half kneeling position. Once again, if balance is an issue, make sure you have something to hold on to. You will push this back hip forward. Imagine you have a string tied to your hip. Pulls it forward to open that up. If you want to add to that stretch, you can lift up the same arm and reach over to the side. And that will help open up those hip flexors. Again, holding each stretch for about 30 seconds. Make sure you stretch when your body's nice and warm, after a workout, after a shower, and try to do these every day. They're really good for you. Looking forward to seeing you next week.